basically have me teach you for over an hour on how to edit a video, like a nice video, there you go. If you want to just edit something that's literally just clip, 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 you know, a montage or something, there's a program called Shotcut that is free that can do that very simply. But yeah, so that's what I got for that. Thank you so much. That's perfect. Sure. Okay. As well, who, for experience, they said they were an aspiring content creator. Number one, is it normal for starting streamers to have 0 views for 4 months? Is it normal to be discouraged if this is the case? Oh no, man, it's a grind. No, it's freaking normal. Of course it's normal. No. Okay. If you have been streaming for 4 months to 0 viewers, I would say, I'm going to make up some numbers here. Let's pretend you were streaming 2 days a week. Change to streaming maybe 1 day a week, and that other day that you were using, use that time to instead find other ways of pointing people toward your stream. That can be YouTube videos, TikToks, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Like, you use any other social media site to point people to your Twitch. Subreddits, you know, stuff like that. Is it normal to be discouraged if this is the case? Yes. Yes, if your goal was to see growth and then you failed to achieve that goal for 4 months, yes, it is completely normal to be discouraged by that. It's okay to feel that way. Honestly, if you go a single day without getting a new follower, it's okay to be bummed out. I think that's a normal human response. So yeah, that's like when I started, I detail all of this in the What I Learned in 1000 Days video. However, one of the things I did earlier on was the first game I streamed was Divinity Original Sin 2. Fantastic game. Great RPG. Which you can watch the entire playthrough on muckluckplays.com. Anyway, I would take funny moments from the stream, and I would make little montages. It was clip, 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 clip. Very, very simple stuff. And I would put it on YouTube, and then I would go to any... I spent a day finding every subreddit which allowed you to just drop a clip. And it's very important you read those subreddits rules. So like the Divinity Original Sin 2 subreddit, as well as like funny moments, funny gaming moments, funny moments in gaming. Yeah, there was like all these subreddits where they were okay with you just dropping a clip and then people would peruse them. And if they liked it, you know, one, they might sub to your YouTube channel. And I always ended every video with, you know, if you'd like to see more, I'm live every night on Twitch at or whatever your schedule is. So include that at the end of the video. So then if someone watches your YouTube, some of them might come over to your Twitch. So I was basically utilizing YouTube and subreddits to get people that liked my stuff to come over to Twitch. So that was how I did it. But again, I know people that found success basically utilizing TikTok or utilizing Instagram. I don't even have an Instagram account. As far as I know, Instagram is just where people put pictures of scrambled eggs. I don't know what's going on over there, but somehow that helps. Do you actually need a good internet connection to stream? I mean, good enough that your stream doesn't look like crap. I mean, your camera doesn't have to be like, you know, friggin' like insane resolution, but your stream needs to not be lagging. So good enough internet that you can do whatever you're doing without it lagging really bad. If you can't do a live stream without it lagging, you could still do recorded stuff. You could still build a YouTube, you know, if you want to do that with pre-recorded things without doing, you know, a full live stream. Any tips for growing your community over time? Tons of them. This right here is my website for content creation. The very first video at the top is on how I went from 3 viewers to 300. So that right there, now different things work for different people. I went over step by step what worked for me. It's all in that. Is OBS greater than slobs? They are both adequate streaming software. Slobs is more user-friendly. OBS can do more once you learn how to do it, in my opinion. Also, OBS offers some fantastic free stuff. For example, okay, so here are my overlays on OBS, and give it a minute, it's loading. So let me say, I'm gonna mute it because you'll hear it twice. Show me my follower alert. Do you see this really fancy animation? This is free. I found this in the free section of Stream Elements or OBS Studio. Show me what a raid looks like. Like this was in the free section of their site. So at the time that I switched to Stream Elements, I don't know about now, Streamlabs could not do that, and they did not offer anything like that. So, and then additionally, Stream Elements, through a long chain of events that I can't promise that you'll experience, I've made a lot of money through them. Because sponsors have found me through Stream Elements. And they have been like, hey, this is Josh from Stream Elements. Raid Shadow Legends, NordVPN, and MeUndies are interested in working with you. Would you like to take any of these? They'll each pay you X, money to do a 2-hour segment where you just shout them out like every 15 minutes while you're doing what you're doing. I'm like, oh my god! And they found me because they had my data through Stream Elements. And anyone who streams to Stream Elements, you go into like a spreadsheet on their side, and sometimes they come at you with generous offers. I don't know if Streamlabs OBS does the same thing, but I never got an offer through them when I was using their software, so. Yeah. I'm working at ISP Tech Store. I can tell that you need upstream videos for streaming content. What would you recommend for someone who's unable to talk to people without breaking down with anxiety and stress? This may sound harsh, but my first instinctual response to that is practice. Like, one, like talking is a skill. Like we did, like I didn't just start out able to talk like this with all of you. It's something that you practice over time. Like for me, the first time I got on voice chat with other people in a video game, I was really nervous. And then I was talking to 1 people, then 5 people, then 10 people, and then 25 people in a raid in World of Warcraft that were all failing. And I was getting angry, and my anger was crushing the fact that I was embarrassed because I was pissed that they kept running into the fire when I clearly said don't stand in the fire, and they kept doing it anyway. And then at that point, it was just like, it kind of like, your nervousness kind of caps out. It's like, if you're like nervous at the idea of talking to 500 people, do you get more nervous talking to 600? Like, I feel like there's a point where it just caps out. And I've hit that point. I've hit that point. Like, at this point, like, right now, I've got 500 people, which it's astounding. I've got 500 people in here right now. And there was one day, and this has happened once, where I got raided by someone who dropped, like, 10,000 people in here. And I was like, welcome everybody! Hey, I'm Muckluck, Douglas Bartholomew, Reginald Esquire the Fourth. If you happen to be new, I stream every single day. It's a pleasure to meet you guys. And I was just like, all right, I'm gonna put on my best face and get as many new follows as I can, because usually these people leave in 5 seconds. I've gotten to the point where I'm like, okay, no further additional amount of people is gonna make me nervous. So that's the thing. But yeah, you can practice it. You could, when you stream, make it to where you can't see your follower count. Assume that no one's there and just talk. Just do your best to talk and narrate what you're doing. And then, but make sure you can see your chat. Because if someone says something in chat, you need to respond to them. So that would be one of my advice. Like, one, keep talking while you're playing. Because if your goal is to grow your stream and someone pops in and you're just like, like half the people in the Call of Duty section of Twitch, they're not going to stay very long. So keep talking about whatever you're doing, and if they want to chime in, they can. And then at the end of the stream, you can go to the stream summary section of Twitch, and it will tell you how you did for that stream. And you could be like, oh, I did have viewers, oh my god. Or I didn't have any today, but got some practice in. So that would be my thing. Talking is a skill, just like anything else. You can get better at it if you choose to spend time working on that. I have worked in call center customer service for 18 and a half years, and I am an introvert. Yeah. And I worked in customer service for a long time too. I was worked at the front desk of a hotel for 8 years, and then I worked in tech support for like 7. And honestly, dude, there was some days it was just like I made like a switch in my brain, and I haven't had to hit it in a long time, but it basically just turns caring off. It's like when you got someone like screaming at you, and then it's just like, And then all of a sudden you're just like, I am about to blow up in your face. It's like, the nervousness is gone because you're treating me like a subhuman, so I no longer think of you as one. So the camera just went out of focus there. Hang on a second. There we go. All right. But yeah, it's a learned skill. If you practice it, you can get better at it. What tip can you give to starting streamers who, this is from Aswell on the Discord. What tip can you give to starting streamers who are usually quiet? Like I said, you need to talk. Okay, here's the thing. If you are doing whatever you're doing, and you're so just God's gifted amazing at it, you don't have to say a word. That's great. Like Shroud, now, he talks, but he doesn't have to. Just every click is a headshot. He's like friggin' an escaped government experiment. If you're, I've seen people in the creative section of Twitch that are quiet, but they're like in a freaking smithy, and they're like doing glass shaping. Like, and I'm just like mesmerized. And I'll watch people in that section I don't even know, and they're saying very little, and they're just doing their craft, and it's mesmerizing to watch. But if you're anyone else, like the other 99.9% of Twitch, you need to talk. Because, you know, whether it's just like maybe you got something informative to add, maybe you got something funny to add, just something of value. Even if the value is just entertainment, you know, you're just making people entertained in that moment. One mistake I noticed a lot of new creators do is arguing with their audience. If your goal is to be a content creator that does like heated debates, it's okay to do debates. But if you mean just like screaming back and forth, yeah, that sounds like a great way to lose an audience. It depends on what you mean. I have extreme talking anxiety when I speak to a relatively small group of people. Like I want to dematerialize, but I realized when I was talking to my entire school because I wanted to become head boy. Not only do I not have any anxiety speaking to many people, but seeing their reactions made it good for me, which in turn allowed for humor, which made it better for them. So on, it's great. Good, that's cool. Okay. Let's see. Next question from Aswell. Is it generally a good idea to advertise your Twitch or Facebook Live, YouTube live like it is a political candidate? What, like putting little signs on the side of the road? Like using a megaphone on the internet, randomly advertising your channel and hope for the best? Okay, so this is going to depend on who you ask, right? Things that are annoying to one person will not be annoying to the next person. Have you guys ever played a video game and seen some guy just like yell their Twitch into the game lobby or the yell chat or something? I am a streamer and I think that's cringy. So the farthest I will go is I will name my character. Like, my character in this game is Muckluck Twitch Esquire, and that's because my other character is Muckluck Space Twitch. I'll name my character that, and then if someone wants to come visit, they can. I feel like this is, like, right up against the line of being, like, in your face about it, right? Now, again, some people may disagree. Some people may get mad at this. I don't know. But for me, this felt guilt-free. It's like a little billboard above my head at all times. And on the flip side, if I do anything competitive, it is really easy to stream snipe me. So if I was going to be doing something competitive, I would need to make a stream delay, which means anything that happens on my computer happens on stream like 1 to 2 minutes later to make it to where I don't have to worry about that. However, I choose to do no delay, which gives me a disadvantage in competitive games. However, it allows me to talk to you guys in real time. But so yeah, I don't support just like yelling. You're going to annoy people. If anything, you're going to make people want to not come to your thing. Another thing that makes me think of is people that come in and they're like, "Hey, you follow me, I'll follow you." And you're like, "No," and you're like, "What are you doing?" They're like, "I'm trying to network." That's not networking. That's not what networking is. So if you happen to be a new creator and you think networking is just like trading follows or host me, I'll host you, or raid me, I'll raid you, that's not what it is. Like, your networking is maybe like talking in their stream, getting to know people, maybe doing collabs. Let me give you guys an example. Errolozen. Errolozen is someone who's frequently in this channel. He is one of the mods on the channel. He helps me with some various things at this point. He's just been in here and been around for a long time. A lot of people here knows who he is. He recently streamed for the first and second time. He had 10 viewers. They were all people that, you know, knew him from this channel. That's networking. And, you know, I part of me is envious. This may sound wild for coming from me, who's currently got 500 viewers. I was envious because I went a month with no viewers, and he had like 10 on day 2. And for me, I was like, that was way better than my experience was. But he wasn't starting at 0. He had people that knew him from the fact that he was constantly like joking around and hanging out here. You mean Peachy? Yeah. Dude, my face keeps... I think there's a bunch of like cat hair in the air or something. I'm just like itching my face like crazy. So yeah, networking. Let's see. Got a question from Michael, who's interested in streaming, who says, are you interested in seizing the means of production? With me. I'm married, but I'm very flattered by the offer. Thank you. Next question. Leroy, who is interested in content creation. First one says, is there anything you feel like you could or should be doing differently but aren't because of reasons? Like personal preference, practicality, etc. Could or should be doing differently? Yeah, well, okay, it depends on my goal. Let me give you guys an example. Right now, I get the most viewers when I am streaming Guild Wars 2. That's where I'm known. I have made over 100 guides over the last 3 years for that game. If you Google how to blah 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 Guild Wars 2, there's a decent chance you'll find one of my videos, and that leads to me. Now, what does that mean? That means on the days I stream Guild Wars 2, 400 to 500 viewers. The days that I get burned out because I've played so much Guild Wars 2 and I want to do literally any other game, 1 to 300 viewers. So if my goal is just grow as many viewers as possible, I would never leave the Guild Wars 2 section. It'd be like Ludwig. Ludwig has got millions. Is it millions or hundreds of thousands? He's at least got hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of viewers. And he has said numerous times, I wish I had ridden the Among Us train longer. Because while he was streaming Among Us, he got crazy growth every day, but he got sick of it. And so he did something else for happiness, and the growth slowed down. So saying, like, do you feel like that you should be doing? There are days when I sacrifice potential growth for my own sanity. Now, it also depends on where you are. Like, if you're streaming as your only source of income and, you know, you are struggling to pay the bills, you should probably do whatever you got to do, you know? I would say majority of the people on this planet are going to work and doing things they don't want to do. If for us, you know, that means playing a game we don't want to play, that's not that bad. But yeah, I mean, especially considering I've streamed every single day for the last 1,400 days, and I don't even take a Saturday or a Sunday off. Sometimes I get, you know, sick and tired of even playing a game that I love, and I want to do something else. So, yeah, sometimes there's that feeling, but I'm the kind of guy that at my old job, I declined it was the same promotion 3 times, but I declined getting promoted 3 times because I was making enough money, and I knew I would be much less happy if I took that raise because my job was my boss was going to give me so much more work. And everyone around me was shocked by that, but that's the kind of person I am. Like, I want to get to the point where I'm okay and then pursue happiness, not more money. Sometimes they overlap, which is great, but not always, not often. So there you go. Follow-up question. Obviously, there's a fair bit of crossover. Do you feel like there's a significant difference between the type of viewer you get on Twitch and on YouTube, other than as Twitch regulars clearly being more attractive? Do you feel like certain things are received better by one crowd than the other? Do you feel like it depends. So on Twitch, it is very easy for a clip, like let's say you see, have you ever, okay, I've got so much in my head I'm trying to get out of my mouth. That's like making a freaking clog. You ever seen a clip of someone out of context and it looks really bad? And then you see the full clip and you're like, oh my God, this is nothing. That. So on Twitch, you know, you get the whole, if you're watching the whole stream, you get the whole story. If someone clips you out of context and puts it on YouTube, sometimes it can look really bad. Assuming that you didn't do anything wrong in the first place, of course, which is a stretch. So one crowd can handle something better because they got the whole story. Now, if I put something on my own YouTube channel, if it requires context, I include the context in the video. But when you get of a decent size, like Asmongold has like 5 channels just pillaging off of his content. Asmon clips, Asmon gold clips, Asmon bald clips. And they are all just basically using him as like a money generator. And, you know, they chase drama, clickbait thumbnails, and the spiciest thing, you know, clipped possible with all the context removed. So that's the first thing I think of when you say this. Power went out again out of UPS. Someone write the time of my question. Tell me on Discord later. Well, right now we're 2 hours and 59 minutes into the stream, Shugo, so it was earlier than this. Would you recommend starting the stream on my main language of German or English? So I know no information about the German audience size on Twitch, but you can Google that. You can look up like how many people are currently in the German category on Twitch, how many are in the English category, and you could try some days doing English, some days doing German, and you make a judgment call. That's going to be dependent on you. So my recommendation is to look that up and then make a judgment call based on that. I will say my understanding is most people in Germany are bilingual and speak English. Funny enough, my second largest audience as far as location, you know, first for me is the United States, second is Germany. Like, as an English speaker, I would have thought my second would have been, like, Canada or something, but it's Germany. Germany is my second largest audience source. Like the one Scooby-Doo movie where they take Fred out of context, so you say he ate someplace? Yes. So on Twitch, if someone theoretically, hypothetically would ask Muck, what is your favorite Ranger build? All right, so that's obviously a reference to the day that I said I like traps. And my God, did I not know what they were going to do with that clip. It's already happened. The damage is done, so I'll just say it again. But yeah, someone goes, what's your favorite Ranger build? Oh, I like traps. Yeah, did not see that one coming. Do you have haters? If so, how do you handle them? I don't really... So here's the thing. If I were to get political, no matter what it was, if I say, oh, I like blue group, then red group thinks I hate them. If I say I like red group, then blue group thinks I hate them. No successful content creator, other than the ones that are based off of like talking about politics, like Hassan or Destiny, stuff like that, is going to share random facts like that. Like, oh, I voted for ba-ba-ba-ba. Because no matter what you say, you just lost half your audience. So I don't share information that I like one, I don't, my brand isn't built on that. Y'all don't need to know what, you know, about that. And it would just hurt me. So I don't get a lot of haters for that. I sometimes get people that come in and they're like, yeah, Destiny was permabanned. He was, and they wouldn't even say why, which I think as a platform is very scary. I actually watched about an hour on that, Julia, on YouTube. They permabanned him and they won't tell him why, which is a very scary precedent for them to do. Because they could, I mean, heck, they could do it to me at any time if they want to. But, I mean, he's fine. He's just streaming on YouTube. I know why. DM me if you do. If you actually know and it's not just like a guess, but I would love to know. Anyway. So, haters. I sometimes get people... Mighty Teapot. In the game I'm most known for, Guild Wars 2, one of the top streamers is a guy named Mighty Teapot. Now, he's been streaming for like 9 years. I've been streaming like going on 4. And most of, like maybe 3 in Guild Wars 2, because I didn't stream Guild Wars 2 when I started out. And I occasionally get people from his community that come over and harass me. If I tell him, like, I don't like tattling, but if I do tell him, he freaking bans them from every platform he's got. Like Twitter, Twitter, his Discord, his community, his guild, his Twitch, he just bans them everywhere. Like, he's not sending them over. I don't believe that for a second. It's just, like, really weirdly motivated fans. And usually I can just shrug it off. If someone comes over and they're like, you'll never be as good as him, I'll be like, oh my God, he's been streaming 6 years longer than me. Do you think I'm even in the same ballpark as him? Oh my God, that's so flattering. Thank you. That means the world to me. Like, I'll do that. You know, so usually I can diffuse them because, you know, they've only got a few brain cells and it took all of them to say their last sentence. They can't really go anywhere from that. So yeah, I mean, it happens sometimes. Like, you can be doing anything and you'll get haters. It's just, you really have to focus on the positives. Like, for example, you guys know that recently YouTube took away dislikes. Y'all can't see it. I can. I can still see dislikes. If you look over here on the right-hand side, like this video, 7 people hate it. 587 liked it out of 7,000 that watched it. And that means that, I don't know, 6,500 were like, okay, it's fine. Out of 7,000 people, only 7 hated it. Now, if I really focus on like, oh my God, 7 people hated all the work I put into that, think about the 6,993 that either liked it or were like, yeah, it's fine. So part of it's a mindset thing. The human brain really wants to focus on those people that say they hated your work. But if you look at all the people that liked it, it's going okay. It's going okay. I mean, that happens. Like this video here, like usually I'm in 98 to 99%. Of course, most of your own audience are going to like it or not hit either button because they're already subbed to your channel. But, you know, it goes out to other people. Like this one is 95. And that's pretty low for me. 95% like to dislike ratio is pretty low for me. So yeah, you just got to learn from it. I'm like, okay, they didn't like this video. I should look at this video and see what did I do wrong in this one before I make another one that's anything close to that. Saw one of your haters on a new growing channel named Brixel. The guy didn't assume it and removed his commentaries after his like, dude, get help, please. One of my haters? Oh my. Speaking of the politics thing, I suspect I use these streams and games as a means of escapism. So even if I did agree with the politics, for say I don't want to hear it here or indeed Interior. Yeah, that is a thing. A lot of people, when they watch YouTube or Twitch or anything entertainment, they're trying to get away from the real world. Not like just to pretend it's not there, but just to step away for a bit, you know, to take a break. So I usually have no politics in my chat just because, you know, it kind of takes away from what we're trying to do. For example, I'll briefly mention, you know, there's the war in Ukraine. Everybody knows about the war in Ukraine. My heart goes out to them. I've got viewers there. I hope they're okay. You know, I know companies that I've worked with that are based there that had to evacuate. I hope they're okay. I know some of them aren't. There's literally nothing here in this Guild Wars 2 gaming channel that can be done about that. So just nonstop focusing on that is just going to kind of hurt that avenue of escapism, is what we were talking, where people are just trying to get a break from it. Who knows? Maybe there are people that fled Ukraine that, you know, are just watching shows and they're just trying to just get a break from everything. Yeah, and that's an assumption, but that is an example of what I'm talking about. I think we focus on dislikes so much since we know that criticizing something is easier than appreciating it. Possibly. Honestly, that's like going into like psychiatric stuff that I'm not sure I can talk on. Gaming escapism for some people. Yeah. One last question. What would you recommend focusing on one game or play more games from the beginning? I would say for me, I built the growth I did on one game. But then when I got to a point, and it took years to get there, when I got to a day that I was like, I really don't want to play Guild Wars 2 today. Not because I mean, I love the game, but I've done everything. I played like 6,000 hours. And when I swapped to another game, my viewership went. So my strategy was I started doing what we call the variety hour. At the end of every stream for the last hour, I would play something else. And I slowly started saving that footage on my new YouTube channel, the second channel, Muckluck Plays. So I was building a new YouTube channel, and I was getting to do other stuff and kind of diffuse if I was growing sick of the, you know, the main thing. So if you want to do variety, get your audience used to it early. It doesn't hurt to kind of, like, I would say it's probably pretty difficult to grow as a variety streamer from day one. Because let's say you're playing Call of Duty and you're really good at it and someone follows you for Call of Duty and the next day they see you on Magic the Gathering. And like, what? And then someone follows you Magic the Gathering and then the next time they see you, you're playing Divinity Original Sin. And they're like, what? You know, it can be, these are okay, and some of them will unfollow. So you kind of have to make a choice. I would say from my personal experience, just drawing on my own experience, it was easier to grow by focusing on one game for a while and then slowly almost get my audience to appreciate the other things that I appreciate. But it won't work for everyone.